Hello. Welcome to part 3 of Jarviskjir Prison Break. Where did we just end off?
I've rolled
3
crits so far.
With Altis being sad.
I've rolled a crit as well. A crit fail.
So, where we continue. You're being given this tour. You are when all the prisoners go into the mess hall, you are then shown the mines, because I'm not going to walk this noble pretty boy in while all the prisoners are out. You know. So you're shown the mines. It's a mine. It's not actually a very good mine, but neither of you would know anything about that at all, I imagine.
But what do they mine?
This is iron, mostly.
Iron? Okay.
It's an iron mine. Yeah, it's very cramped and bad situations, but you know they're prisoners. Who gives a fuck? And the whole time, Manuelin the warden is just so grit teeth. This is where the prisoners sleep. This is where they wash their filthy bodies. Like, she's very unhappy about the whole thing, and then it ends up. She shows you back to the tower. And is like, this is the tower, and then actually shows you to the barracks here, which is very small. But they make a bed for you, and it's like, this will be where you're sleeping while you grace us with your presence here. Oh.
Throughout the whole tour, my character has to be very agreeable to the fact, oh yes, this is prudent, they get they deserve, and etc. And try to engage her in conversation about that.
She does not.
If she's willing.
She does not.
And if she's not, then she's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. She has the bare minimum to make it an actual tour. Before just leading you off to the barracks and then just straight walking off. Actually, you could tell that it appears to be her room is at the back of the barracks. There's a separate room, and she just walks off that way, muttering to herself.
If I need anything.
And just slams the door.
It's like the moment of slam.
Yeah, and you're down there. So while this tour's going on, you guys are having breakfast in the prison. Breakfast in the prison.
How early is it for breakfast?
You arrived earlier than standard operations, so I imagine, let's say you arrived 6 a.m. So breakfast is probably 7 a.m. or so, that sort of time. But it's whenever they ring the bell.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a medieval quote unquote prison. No one's gonna find out if
watches
it's 7
and
or
clocks
8.
exist. You ain't seen one. Ain't seen one here.
Hey Siri, what time is it?
A sprite pops out of nowhere.
That's
actually
a cool idea.
I mean, yeah.
That's while they're having
in sleeping or breakfast.
Hmm.
And she'll pose that question to the to Ross.
What question?
Sleeping
we're
or
either
breakfast?
Sleep or have brekkie. I'm up for breakfast. Not entirely sure whether they'll cook us something. I did consider asking that, but I thought it might make her go insane and snap.
They're having breakfast. I imagine it wouldn't be too much of a problem for us to have some as well.
You say that, and one of the guards just leans over, is like, you don't want what the prisoners are having.
I see. Where do you guys get your food? If I don't want.
We have a runner who goes down to Porktown most days. Porktown.
I see. Perhaps you would be able to fetch us something to eat for 5 gold. It's handsome enough payment.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I ain't
Thank
got no
you.
issue with types like you, and he takes the money in hand and jogs off.
Types like it was quite rude.
Yeah.
I'll say it to Ross, after he left.
Just
it's fucking rude.
It's fine. We'll get something to eat now.
It's still kind of early. I'm gonna see if I can scout out the area.
Yes, I think it might be best if I were to stay in my room. I'm going to do a little bit of testing with the whole magic. I attempted to cast a spell the other day and it didn't really work at all. So I figure maybe I'll just flicker a ring onto my finger with minor illusion and just wander around the place testing that, just see whether it's stopped at any point.
Well, in the future, I do know some elvish magic. Maybe we can test that later on. But of course, I'm gonna go scout the area.
Yes.
today.
Keep an ear out, say
Okay.
if any urgent runners come from Northampton. I'm hoping they won't put two and two together, since there's nothing linking it to, other than her memory. There's nothing really linking it, and there's no official record. So as soon as Ellis is out of prison, she's gone. So
Okay.
until then, we just have to be careful about getting caught ourselves.
Indeed. And I'll go do that.
So what are you're scouting the outer area, I assume?
Yes. I was
Uh,
gonna say the inner area, but if he says the outer area, I'll do that as well.
She's like, I
you
want
would
to go
be-
for a
Instead
walk
of
in
scout-
the forest.
Yeah, scout. Yeah, if you go, I want to walk outside in the forest. They won't even stop you as you go to leave outside. If you go inside, they'll be like, "What are you doing?" No.
Well, I was gonna be sneaky about it since early in the morning and probably still dusk.
That's up to you then. You can try and do that.
If it's still like, how early is it? Like, if it's like,
And
Still, like,
it's
dusk
it's
out?
light. It's
then
light.
no.
Yeah.
Then
Alright.
no, outside. Outside will do.
Give me a survival or perception roll. What are you looking for in exactly? You're just looking for. You're just scouting the area because you're
I
a
don't think
ranger.
it matters. Same roll either way.
Cool.
I'm looking for people who I might think would be investigating the area,
So
like
you,
noble people of sort.
Yeah. You investigate this area. There are a couple of shacks that you find that just cabin people that live out in the forest in cabins. They're always around. I imagine you don't talk to anyone. Just like, okay, there's someone who lives here.
Do they prefer the term camp people, or are they just like?
Cabin people.
These people are cabin people.
Of cabin people.
Yeah, for sure. You do find something kind of weird. Actually, kind of close to where you've been camping most of the time. You've been going back and forth in the forests around. Is a camp nearby. Very within earshot of your camp, and you never notice that.
Oh, interesting.
There's no one there right now, and it seems like a camp for one person. But it's actually not been disassembled. There's still a bedroll there and pots and pans and things. And then mostly you find people, that sort of thing. Most of this area is up against the mountainside, so it's forest. It's that sort of a mountainside forest where it sometimes goes high on elevation, very rocky. No dangerous creatures to worry about unless you roll a 1 while you're trying to escape. But yeah, mostly if you're looking for people, it's cabin people. There's no town further that way. If you go far enough south, you do see the struts of the train track that's raised above this forest actually mostly, or cut through in some places. But that's as close as you get to other civilization. Now if you go back that way, but it's a day's ride, there's the closest town is Porktown. It's a big town outside of Northampton that, guess what, they raise pigs and make pork.
So,
Which is why they're Russian.
no, I would just go back and I would transfer the rest of the night, and I would let Ross know that no, there were in fact no nobles. There was a camp that was close to ours. However, if they were the people you spoke of, they would have been here a day before us.
Well, hopefully they won't
At
have
least.
heard anything important. I don't think we really spoke about too much. Nothing to let them on, really.
No.
I don't think I talk in my sleep, and you don't sleep. So,
Some elves
Speaking
talk
with-
while they trance.
I will trance now, however.
I see. Well, the food will be here any minute, but that's fine. Me and what's his face will enjoy the food together. I'll get a friend on the inside. Anyway, yes, you have a good trance.
Thank you.
So it's actually after breakfast, after brekkie. Probably while this conversation's going on, because Audrey doesn't need to spend that long tracking, because she's a ranger, and rangers are good at what they do. While you're in your first, mining thing, while Ellis is just probably, not even doing any, because she's getting released tomorrow, you and Altis are down in the same sort of tunnel of the mines, when someone goes up behind you guys, and you're like, oh, it's a guard. No, it's Wolf. He actually doesn't appear to have anyone else with him, but you kind of assume he probably does round a corner. You can't see very far. You're in a very narrow mine. And he just kind of grins at you and licks his fang. Like, heard you're getting out tonight. Tomorrow, anyway.
Now do you believe what I previously said?
Maybe. So, you're getting out. You're going to be getting me out, too. You're right. It would be far nicer to be outside of here than in this dump. Even though I don't need to do a single thing here. It'd be nice to be free.
I'm just gonna grin at him and be like, maybe you should have thought of that before you set your damn thugs on me, you fucking stone shagger.
Well, here's the funny thing. If you get out of here without me, I am going to kill this one. And I have very influential family outside, so if you have family outside, I'll get them killed too.
You just snort with laughter at that.
He's like, this isn't laughing matter, this is... So I'm going to kill him.
I'm just watching him and grinning. I'm not saying anything at this point.
Do you not care about your one friend in this place?
Of
Poor
course I care.
man-child?
I just don't think that you're going to be able to take this big fucker down as easily as you think.
Oh, I think I will.
Well,
But that's not something to worry about. I mean, if you leave and you don't help me get out at the same time, then you'll never see his head get crushed. But if you do help me get out, then you'll never need to worry about it. At all.
you know, as I said, if you'd come to me before you'd set your damn goons on me, I might have considered this. As it is, you've got no deal. I have no family. Atlas can look after himself. And that's not to say that my friends haven't already got him out as well. So, get fucked.
Pleasure doing business with you. And he
Likewise.
walks away. He starts
I
whistling.
spit on the floor as he goes.
He hums as he walks away. And then is gone very quickly because it's up a corner, like up ladders.
I would just pat Alice on the shoulder and be like, if any of them come after you tonight, go after him.
I can go after him now if you want me to.
No, don't. We don't want to cause any fuss. He's all words.
Should have just murdered it down in the mines.
He's all words. You don't have to worry about him. But mark my words, if someone comes after us tonight, you go after Wolf. You make him you make him appreciate that you're not to be messed with. Got it?
Appreciate your fists.
And then I just go back to not mining. Leaning on the pickaxe.
Alice,
Yeah, kindling.
if you do get out and I like kick a stone, and I stay inside, it was a pleasure eating block with you.
Likewise, kindling. Likewise.
And I'll go back to mining.
So, Ross, you're doing some magical testings. Give me an Arcana roll.
I shall do that.
Ready, Captain. You notice when you're you're in the barracks, it's the same thing that happens where your spell just doesn't cast half the time. Sometimes it casts and like half of the illusion is there, and then occasionally the spell casts correctly. And you probably walk around. You got basically free
do
run
I find
of the
the
place.
sweet spot?
It seems
Can I assist him with this?
you're asleep.
Oh, never mind.
Elves don't sleep.
Trancing.
You walk around.
Trancing.
It seems the barracks is like inside the walls at one point. So the barracks, okay, no. You walk around the walls. The office, no. You don't go inside the walls. You walk outside. Whoosh, it works properly.
Right.
It
So
appears
is there
something in the walls or something.
Okay. So is there an area in the office, say when someone would be released through the main gates, that I could stand and my magic would not be interrupted? Walking
If
around
you
the
stood
camera-
outside of the door, the front door, yes.
the main door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the distance from the main door to the main
it's
gate
basic.
of
It's
the
instant.
prison.
It's instant. You step
Okay,
out the
cool.
door, and it's not like a main gate because it's just you go in through the processing. So it's just a
Okay.
door. It's like a fairly well like a metal door that you've seen on the inside. Has all manner of defenses, but it isn't a full-on defensible fort. You know, built for a purpose. Yeah, it's literally like you step over the threshold of the. You go from stone to gravel, and it's like it works. But to be fair, when you're inside the walls, it does sometimes work.
Cool. Got ya. Gucci.
And then after a little bit of time, you have one of the guards come back with a plethora
yeah,
of food.
I'm gonna make friends with him.
Yeah, cool.
And actually, this isn't like ingenuine. Ross enjoys talking to him and learning about his life. There is ulterior motives.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. I get it. His name is Mitley. He is apparently one of the. He says it's like I'm the best. I'm the best with a crossbow this place has ever seen. But you know, that's why they have me here. They don't want anyone too good in the military. Huh? That's like he's like the track he keeps running on is that like he should be in the military, but he isn't. And he's like, well, I don't even think I'd like the rations that the military get anyway. I mean, here we get. I mean, we're so close to Porktown, we can get prime quality sausages. It could be a lot worse. You know, I could be mining with them, and that's, you know, that's not what we're here for. So that's the track he's on.
Yeah.
As you get to know him, just give me a general persuasion roll for friendship roll.
Friendship. Oh, God, I wish making friends was this easy, IRL.
It is. Yeah, he seems pretty invested in you. How much do you tell him about you? What do you tell him about you?
So, me and Ollie had previously discussed a little bit of Ross's background, but I've changed my mind about that. So,
Fair. I've done that as well with Scott all the time.
so this is like running it past Ollie at the same time. So, Ross was raised in Bilgewake,
Shit. Poor lad.
which is why he knows such a different variety of languages and can talk to all sorts of different people, because there's all sorts of different races in Bilgewake.
Bilgewake is a city, if you do exclamation mark map, that is pirates. Pirate city.
Yeah, His father could be perhaps called a trade prince if he was in Tran, but he's not in Tran, so we'll leave that as like a grey area. He's a rich man with influence in Bilgewake.
Okay, so you tell him that, or
I won't tell him like
you're
my
from that side of the
family
world.
name or anything, or I will just say I'm from Bilgewake and blah 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 blah. I won't say I'm a noble or anything.
Yeah.
I will routinely like make characters with Scott, and then not play them for the game, so I can't judge.
Hey, guess who else does that?
I mean, this
For
was
years, all the time. So.
Neil.
I mean,
Neil does that.
this is yeah. I made loads of characters. I
The
got
day
loads.
before, I'd be like, no, I'm not feeling it. Sorry.
I mean, this story's better than the previous one anyway, isn't it? It's
It's
better.
cool. It makes sense.
Only nice Bilgewake.
I like pirates.
I like pirates.
I like pirates.
Atlantis Mark II.
Yeah, you make friends with Mitley while you're hanging out because you have a literal whole day here. You like
Yeah.
play cards.
Yeah.
He has a deck of Call of the Mountain Guard, and he has someone else borrow
He
it for
can
you.
teach me.
The card game there's this in Jarviskjir. It's like Jarviskjir's Gwent. And you play some of that. You're shit at it. You don't really understand it, but you have an entire day of doing nothing.
Really cool paladin card though.
No, that doesn't exist yet in canon. His deck is the Lady Regent deck, who is the person in charge of Northampton. He's
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a loyalist.
I like that.
So, Adri, you don't need to sleep the entire day. Do you just like not? Do you want to do anything else the entire night? I mean, you also have the
Yes.
night to do stuff if you
You want to
want.
kneel on your blanket for comfort?
Yeah.
no.
They don't give you a blanket, by the way. Sorry.
Really?
They
I
give
just want a
Ross
blanket?
one, but yeah, you never got the blanket that she promised.
No, probably not. Just trans, as normal elves do.
You
in
do
this world.
notice at Manuelan comes out of her office and sees you and some of the other guards who aren't on duty playing this game, and she just, her face is red. She goes back to whatever duty she's meant to be doing. It's like you're playing on like an overturned barrel, and it's all good stuff. So the night goes without much of a problem. Wolf said he'd kill Altis if you leave, so he's not left yet. That's great. So you'll sleep without a problem, and Altis is probably a little sad that his friend might leave. But the next morning, before the guards unlock everyone's door, it's straight up like the guards go up and unlock Ellis's door first. It's like, Ellis Grey Harbour, it's time for you to leave.
Sort of Sageo stretching, clicking the shoulders, and then follow him out, head held high.
And like locks the door behind, unless Altis wants to say a final goodbye.
I'm asleep.
I was like, what's he gonna set up? Yeah.
Probably Ross is asleep, and one of the guards kind of like is like looking at Audrey when she's trancing, and he's just like, can we talk to her? Psst. Hello?
I think.
Hello?
What do you want?
The woman's getting released.
Okay. Why am I being?
Do you not want to be there for that? And
disturbed?
him?
I don't really care at the moment.
Oh,
I'm trancing.
okay. She really was
Grumpy
awake the whole
sleeper.
time. That's like. And
You wait me instead?
Ellis, you get no because they asked her first.
No, she would continue trancing until like
So
he talked to her.
Ellis, you get you're escorted into the processing room. The warden is there, and she's really watching. It's like, what if I ask you a couple of questions, Ellis? She has the paper in her hand.
And this is how Erin fucked it all up.
Just before you're a free woman now, you can say no.
Elves don't sleep.
I just raise an eyebrow at her.
But they can get pissed.
Your family name, your. Where's that name come from? Grey Harbor.
That's not a real name.
This
I work
is
as a
where.
mercenary.
This is where I got Grey Harbor, Erin. It's Ian. On Friday, I was like, we're going back to Grey Harbor, and then we realized Grey Harbor doesn't exist anywhere ever, and it's you! You're Grey Harbor! Oh, it doesn't exist in any setting. Okay, never mind, continue. Sorry, I had a moment of realization.
I would just sort of like frown and be like, it's not a real name. I don't give my real name out. I work as a mercenary.
Huh. Okay. What do you, what's your family have to do with the royals then? You clearly must be someone important, some way, somehow.
Oh, God knows. Oh, no, I had to. That was my set. Peril knows. They were, yeah, moving on up. I didn't really have anything to do with it. That's why I got out. I mean, this is one of those things, you know.
I get it. Estranged, doing your own thing. Lucky they had your back. Okay. Well, there's Grey Harbor. You're free to go. There's the door.
I would just nod and then walk out as probably quite quickly. Just be like, I'm
you
getting
walk
out. Of
out. Nothing. There's nothing there. Just field, forest over there, road.
I'm going to go like because the others haven't come out. I don't know where the others are. Did I know the others were staying there anyway? No. Then I would walk like, I don't know, a mile. Could I actually try and find the camp that they'd been using? Like, is it just off the road?
Give me a survival. I imagine it would be. Give me a survival check. Yeah,
I hope
you find their camp, and it's quite obviously, well, it's the camp of an elf and a human. You could kind of connect those dots. Probably theirs. So I'm actually you wait there.
Yeah, I'd go wait there.
The warden walks back through. Actually, the way she wakes Ross is by putting down her hammer on the table next to his bed, quite loudly.
What?
Your auntie's been released. It's time for you two to leave.
She's been... Why didn't you wake me?
Supposedly my men were trying.
I don't think they did.
And her companion, the Shadow, have you heard from him? Was it not his name? Just went to Rock. Like, what was his name? The other one.
The one we pointed out in the yard. Was
that the one? I don't remember.
Altis does not have paperwork to leave today.
Yes, that's fine. Let me pack up my things. I assume you will be seeing us out, as is proper.
She like picks back up her hammer and just kind of looks down at you. Yeah, give me a persuasion roll. You know how it is.
You know how it is.
You know what I'm gonna say at the end of the day. She say good night. Ooh. She kind of just looks at you. So, no, your time here is done.
I see. You wish to part on bad terms. Very well.
I'll be entirely honest. I don't really care what terms we part on. I don't really care if the whole story you've been telling me is true. You got your auntie out. No one fucking calls their aunt their auntie, by the way. So...
Not true.
You got what you wanted. All the paperwork was filled. The system worked. Congratulations. And she walks like off into her office.
I do.
Well, since no one woke us up, now we need to go and find Ellis.
I'll have you know I'm an auntie. So. Carry on.
Sure, let that go.
Right, let's go. Let's go. Ross is in a rush now.
Okay.
He's in a bad mood from the fact that he was woken up in that manner and that no one told them.
It wasn't a manor, it was a prison.
Altis!
Altis, let him die.
So I imagine you get your horses, and you fucking fast time to your camp. Just because you need to go to your camp. When you do ride to your camp, there's Ellis. There she is.
Why did you live with
sitting
the
on a log.
I didn't know you were still there, pretty boy.
Why wouldn't you ask? You saw us like a day ago.
Well, what happened to Shade as well?
Slade.
Shadow? Slade. I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry.
We have no idea what happened.
Slade was never in there.
Oh.
Fingers was never in there. I don't know what happened.
But you did seem to make a friend in there. That big brute of a man.
Oh, God. Oh, Pennell, don't get me started on that guy.
Why? What was wrong with him?
Yeah, he
Looked like
he
had
made
bloody
me look
knuckles.
like the fucking brains of the outfit, pretty boy. That's what was wrong with him.
I see. That is bad.
But anyway, I should thank you, Gloomy and Pretty Boy. Thanks for getting me out. To be quite honest, I didn't expect either of you to.
Probably should.
You're not a
thank us.
criminal. You shouldn't be there.
Well, true enough, but I mean, we'd been together for one small job, a couple of days. I mean,
I put criminals behind bars. I don't put innocent people behind bars.
good attitude to take. Difficult to keep up in my experience, but good attitude to take, Gloomy. As for that matter, the fact that Fingers never even showed says a lot about what he thought of me, doesn't it?
Well, it's almost like you with that friend of yours in there. You just abandoned him without a second thought. Can't expect to have friends to stick up for you if you won't stick up for them.
The difference is, me and Fingers had been doing jobs together. We'd been around for a while. Kindling, we'd known each other, what, 3 days? 4 days?
There's still time. We could do things my way.
Look,
And just under Ross at that.
if you want to get him out, you can get him out. He's not a bad guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. And he helped me out a bit, but I don't really care either way about him. He can look after himself. He'd probably end up back in there if we bust him out again.
On his own, yes. But what if he wasn't on his own?
It's not like we exactly have a particularly burly man with us in the group already.
I'd also say you want to keep innocent people from being in prison, and you want to put lawbreakers in prison, right, Gloomy?
Correct.
He was in there for running with a crime lord. He was for hired muscle. He was justified to be in there, if you're going on that measure.
Didn't you just say he was stupid?
I mean, if that's your take, then sure, I'll go with you on that. But if it was, in fact, that he was just there for being there, that
He told me that himself.
perhaps he just needs a new path.
Perhaps. It's not one I'm going to risk myself to give him. Sorry, Gloomy.
Ellis, we have in effect given you a second chance at life here. While this singular incident is going to be ignored, your friend in there will stay there. But I would pray that you change your points of view, because otherwise you will end up with no friends, no family, no one willing to pay you for work. Ugh, I wouldn't hire a cold-blooded killer like you.
We just met you. The individual you were with before Fingers, he's not here with us. It's just us. Perhaps we can forge a new path together.
Let's just say Slade was your better half.
If you want to do this, and I don't agree with this, if you want to do this, I want to part in the plan that involves no risk to me. I can be a lookout. I'll do something like that. I'm not going back into that place to bust him out. Got it?
2 lookouts. Fantastic.
But if you want him
I will
out
go
that
with
badly, then
Well, I would have to say it's probably riskier to him were we to attempt to get him out. In there, he's going to live out his days in prison, mining away, but if he escapes and gets caught, he's gonna die.
I mean, eventually, yes, you all will die.
Yeah, you as well.
I'll probably die on the
much
battlefield
longer.
somewhere.
Excuse me?
Look, I appreciate what you two did, busting me out. If you're that insistent on getting him out, Gloomy, as I say, I'll help you out. I'll give you the knowledge. I'll be a lookout. Once we get out of here, I'll help him escape. But I've no attachment to the guy. He's made no effort to better himself. Why should I make any effort to help him?
Because you've made no effort to better yourself. We've just
How?
risked a life and limb. We could have ended up executed for that. What we did, I used the Lady Regent's name. That's treason.
What?
That
so
was
it's-
execution. And we bettered ourselves by doing what was quite frankly an excellent job, wasn't it, Adri? And you come out here, and quite frankly, I see no reason why you shouldn't be going back in.
I didn't damn well ask you to get me out, pretty boy. You did that of your own accord.
You didn't
Don't
even use
mistake gratitude.
you didn't
for any
even use our
sense-
proper names when you said thank you. You don't
But
even have
perhaps
that
at
much
the very
decency.
least,
There
you
is a
were
reason
hired.
I don't use people's proper names, pretty boy. When you're in my fucking line of work, people die by the week. You don't use proper names because you don't want to get too attached to them. Capiche?
My dear, we are only asking you to provide a lookout and perhaps information of the layout. I will go in and I will get your friend. And you can just keep an eye. How does that sound?
That's fine by me, Gloomy. I'll do that much.
Are
Okay.
you sure you want to risk this, Adri?
We can agree on that much. I will outlive you by 3 decades, I'm sure. Do we have an accord? Are we good?
There's
Yeah.
not really much I can do in this situation. You're kind of on your own, I'll be honest.
It'll be fine. But thank you. She'll pat his head.
First place stealth missions aren't my thing, but yeah, get me some paper and I'll give you a map of what I remember of the layout of the place.
Thank you.
And Adri's like, I already know the layout of the place.
Not like really sleeping there.
No, I know,
Sleeping
yeah.
And
there.
I would try and like recall guard patterns as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
such
you can
stuff.
you can
Yeah,
give her that.
As well as like what races the guards are.
Mostly dwarves.
I'm better at hiding at dwarves than humans, I will say.
Oh, true.
They
Yes.
seem to be.
The Night Watch would be mostly dwarves because of dark vision.
Good.
There seem
Yeah.
to be humans in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
I would point out.
You've
I'll
been
try to avoid
here
them.
at night. You've seen that the tower is actually lit up with torchlight at night.
If we can avoid that, that'd be the best. I am better hiding in darkness.
Cool. So you wait till night for this. And that's absolutely fine. What do you do? What do you do, friends?
I'm gonna
I mean-
try to sneak in. Let's Amos come with me.
Cool.
I will take the horses to like a reasonable distance of closeness to wherever Adri's attempting to get in from.
And I'll
then I will
have
wait there.
them try to set up like a guard, like a post, like shoot down arrows, like in case things go wrong. Towards the end of it, like volley cover.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Did
pass
you
me your
give her a
and
bow?
such,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I will.
Oh yeah, I'll hand you my bow actually, because I'm not gonna need it.
Bow and arrows. Yeah. Then
Oh,
then that's.
Adri,
I have a longbow and I think shit. Oh, I did write down 20 arrows.
Cool.
Adri, in case you get pursued, take this. And he's going to hand you a small little bag of ball bearings. I mean,
Thank
I say
you.
small. It's fairly small, but like you can feel there's a lot of bull barons in there.
Barbarians.
Realizes you just spent a few seconds
Happy.
doing this.
Thank you.
Shink, shink,
Hopefully I
shink,
won't
shink.
need it.
Yes, hopefully, but you never know. They've saved my life more than once, probably.
Probably.
Well, I don't know what would have happened otherwise.
That is fair.
Valid. Okay, so then you start sneaking over to the prison. So, sneaking up to it, I'm not even going to make you do anything. You're a person with stealth skills. You're a
Oh.
person.
You're a
Okay.
person.
Snipping
Great.
up to it at the middle of the night? Yes, the question is how are you getting in? And they're looking in more than they're looking out because it's a prison. They're not actually expecting someone to break
I
in.
do have a Dungeoneer's pack, which includes rope, I believe. So if
Yes.
possible, I will try to scale upwards to the nearest window.
Go ahead. Well, there's
I
no
think would
windows.
be unlocked.
There's no windows in the walls, other than there's straight up a window in like the processing office, probably locked. The wall is only a story high. You could just climb the wall with the rope.
Oh, that's fine then.
So
Will
give
do.
me an athletics roll and now a stealth roll
Oh, I'll give you bardic inspiration.
before you leave. Good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Athletics, good. Stealth, good. So you easily managed to get the rope up there around like a crenellation.
I throw a rock.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better. And climb the wall. You do it just after like some guards walk along the section, so you just sort of swoop up after them. I imagine you. Do you actually go down into the yard or go into the walls?
I have a map, but they have guard patterns, so whatever I think would be most appropriate to not
The
being caught.
guards would mostly be on the walls, so yeah, probably just going straight into the yard and maybe shattering around inside the wall to where the people sleep would be a great idea.
Also, avoiding light and humans when
Yeah.
possible.
You actually notice while you're on the wall, you can see that there's the window of where you know the warden's office looks out into the yard on the other side, though. Had like a candlelight in it, actually like lantern light in it. You see like a shape in front of the light, and then the light go off. It's
Okay, that's good.
Can you imagine the atmosphere in camp right now between Ellis and me? Like, after the like awkwardly, like
Ellis wouldn't care. Ellis would just be like, she'd probably have found like a
Like a perch.
yeah, she'd have probably found
of
like
course Ellis wouldn't care. She's a psychopath.
or she'd have found like or she'd found like a branch and be like make it into a rudimentary dagger or something.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Right, you
I will
have long strider, so
Cast,
you're gonna
yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
zoop around. All right,
Yeah, stride long time.
let me do some rolls. What was that?
That was small strider.
Bring-
You guys just suck. Have I ever told you that? Why am I running this game?
Because you love us, really.
You like watching me roll natties.
Natties.
Are you like me watching me roll now?
Natties.
I'm the light
Okay.
side of the force and Ian's the dark side. Balance in all things.
So you swoop down into the yard without any issue. It's one of those situations where there's a guard in the yard who's a dwarf and he has one of the dogs. He can't see you
Okay,
because
good.
he's not got a torch. He's just using the dark vision that he has. In fact, Ellis would have told you that yeah, there's usually a couple of them just sort of out there in the night.
Which I'm invisible to.
Yeah, you're invisible to.
I'm gonna
dark
keep
vision.
snooping
crazy.
around and trying to find. Yeah.
Yeah, you know where they need to go.
alright.
You know where you need to go. You can head in. That's what I wanted to. Yeah. That's why she can evade these dwarves. You go in, not even arousing suspicion. There is another dwarf at the entrance to this place, and he has a little bit of candlelight, but candlelight doesn't stretch very far, so you can kind of like edge around the door, maybe roll. You can sort of.
I actually
circumnavigate
am
him.
proficient with thieves' tools as well, so I can actually pick the lock if need be.
Well, the actual like gateway to the quarters is there's not even a door. It's just
Oh, cool.
a hole. But then into each individual cell is locked quite
It's locked.
fiercely. But then there's a wooden door with the metal bar, and the bar is locked on. So you go down to the one that on the map says this is where you need to go, which means you go through past quite a few people, but they can't see out, and you're quiet, so it's not a problem. And you get to the door, which should be the door that Altus is behind.
So I'm going to very quietly explain, I'm here on behalf of your friend to get you out. Please be very quiet as I do so. And I will proceed to try to pick the lock with my thieves' tools.
Give me a sleight of hand.
You just hear snores.
Yeah, I was gonna say Altus is like not awake, but you know.
Oh,
You
very
hear
good.
like this grunting as there's 6 blokes in there just beating us to death.
You are working on this, and
Very quietly.
it's not
Yeah.
something you're used to. It's
You
a
have
it's a human
inspiration.
lock. It's the techniques. Oh, you have inspiration.
I don't really catch people who do this. Do you have inspiration?
You do.
Yeah, you can add a d6. You have to roll it and add it to whatever.
Is it? So I will actually use that.
Well, it's nice when people use your inspiration, isn't it?
I always.
It's nice when
Everyone
people give you
forgets. It's just the way. It's the way.
So it's one of those things where Ross's inspiration, however it fucking does it, I can't even think for this one. You managed to move
You're
a
like
little...
tinkling with it, and like your ball bearings tinkle, and you think of Ross, and you're like,
Damn.
yeah.
God
It's a
damn.
16.
Little
I'm like,
child.
just be very quiet as you're gonna beat me to death.
Yeah, and you open it up with some speed. It's one of the things where you're like, this might take a little while because I've never seen this kind of lock before. Oh no, wait. And you open a door. Altis asleep.
Head
Okay.
splattered.
No, asleep.
Jawbone
Alright,
removed.
I'm gonna close the door behind me. Very quietly. Kind of like shake him a little bit. Like, wake up. It's time to go.
You're gonna think it's a dream.
Come on.
Can I try and grapple her neck as I wait?
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Your
Also-
athletics versus her athletics or acrobatics.
Hmm.
Oh, Altis has PTSD.
This is where your philanthropy gets you. Oh, good, he failed. Completely.
Also,
Ah!
Terrible.
Erin's response there. Erin's response there was,
Oh dear.
there's-
I think you're meant to re-roll if you get the same, but I'll just say that you like tumble out of bed trying to grab her, and she tumbles back at the same time. Then you're just it was so fucking close.
Mm.
Makes a bit of a racket too.
Very quiet.
There's an elf there in your room, in the darkness. Kind of hard to see her.
I'm gonna get you out. But it's very quiet now.
Are you the one that broke in?
Yes. Shh.
Now you're gonna break out.
Yes. Shh.
Hey, you two, give me perception rolls. Altes can hear people moving around outside, which is weird because even the guards don't often patrol down here. Arian, you hear is like, I can't believe we got it. Yeah, this is gonna. Altis's head is gonna be an innie instead of an outie in a minute. Yeah, we just unlock the thing. And then you hear someone like kneel down in front of the cell outside.
I'm just gonna say shh. I'm gonna close the door all the way so they don't know I'm here. I'm gonna like hide like in the corner.
Cool. Give me a stealth roll. They like it's already unlocked. Altis is probably trying to sneak out on himself, and then they open the door.
They're gonna come in with the hammer.
And the dwarves, one dwarf with the hammer, so it lights the room with orange light. Walks in. So, oh, Altis, seems like you're awake for your beating.
Hello.
Almost feel bad beating up someone like him. It's like, no, idiots like him are the ones that deserve to die the most. There's like a from out of the shadows, and they're like,
Yep. I think I get a bonus.
Surely it
no,
would have
it's
been
a bonus my
advantage.
initiative.
it would be
Stealth.
advantage because they couldn't see you. Yeah, so you have
Would it be?
advantage. Yeah, they can't see you.
He's just faced with being beaten to death, and he goes, "Hello."
Yeah, you absolutely like just blade from the shadows. Just roll damage.
Alright, I actually get bonus damage because it's the first attack of the.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna have to roll me a Nisharino.
I get bonus on that too.
Right, so
That's
that
bonus, yeah.
glaive attack just like slices into this guy, completely catching him off guard. You slice the one that doesn't have the hammer because he was actually in front. But that a horrifying blow. Luckily, unfortunately, these seem to be some fairly tough dwarfties. So you might be in for a little bit of a fight. Hopefully, it's not too loud.
Oh, they got.
Amelia gets initiative.
Sorry, I rolled that. I didn't have a
You do.
token that I could do. I
Down
don't
here.
though.
It's at
Where?
the bottom below the map.
Oh, at the very. Okay, fine. I saw that. That's fine.
And Altis got a 20. Which is great. Now let's see what
Yeah,
these guys
rolling
got.
like a beast, Altis. Everyone but Ian rolling like a beast this session.
Right?
Oh!
How this token is. I recognise it.
I've used it for other characters before. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
from the
turn
Monday
order
game.
on Ian's face. Sorry, let me put that over here.
Gilwyn in 30 years.
Gilwyn when he becomes a grizzled adventurer. So that weapon strike attacks. The one actually has the hammer. Very quickly closes the door behind him, and they do mutter something in Dwarven. It's just sort of like oh, he's got someone with him, and it's not very elegant. Immediately, the one with the hammer just fucking runs at Addis. It's like, this was the job! And, Altis.
I really want him to miss so Alice can just like sidestep and then just punch him really hard in the face.
Like a fucking anime. Just like, that's what
Teleport.
The door's like, Nanny?
Yep.
Alright, so goons first?
They are attacking right now, yes.
Oh, good.
I'll touch you what?
I was a little worried.
They swing at Altis, and Altis is kind of half in bed still, and the bed he's on the bottom bunk because he was here first, and there's a stone in between the bunks. This hammer just cleaves through the stone, and it leaves like a red arc in the air as it just swings and goes right into your stomach. And you feel it burn as it deals 8 damage to you, and then it was like, this thing's good. Just lifts and swings again, because bad
That's
guys.
cool. Also, I was expecting, because he's like sitting on the edge of the bed, you were just gonna crack down on his jewels.
When he goes to swing again, that time you kind of know what's going on and manage to scrabble up. So he just hits the wall, and he's like, she's like, hole in the wall. The other
Bring on
one,
the wall.
The other one just gets out actually one of the swords that the guards have and just runs at the shadow, like, because he kind of can see Adri in there, yeah, but not really. These aren't dwarves. They just know she's there.
Are they humans?
These are dwarves.
Oh, the dwarves. Sorry,
You're
here.
technically invisible to them, but he knows that you're there, so he does get an A attack. By A attack, I mean 2. I have to do it separately because I have an old version of the thing. But you have your armor on, so this like attack with the sword's like, we got a sword, we'll kill whoever we want to in the prison. Armor. So he does like get some slashes off at you, but it hits the armor. Let me see about the secondo. Do. They made a new macro, but I've never been able to update it. The second time he does, and figuring out where you are a little bit more, he does manage to hit you for 5 damage, which I mean,
Okay.
pretty good. But you're used to worse. And then after that, it's Altis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the hammer off. Take the hammer off.
Yeah. Can I do that?
You can try and disarm, I guess.
I'll
Same
do
as
that.
athletics.
Okay. Just straight athletics, yeah.
Yeah. You try try and grapple the guy and get the hammer off him. He's holding the fuck on. He actually has like one of those bands off it, and it's like wrapped really tightly. So maybe you managed to tug at it, and he wrenches it back, and the whole thing
Wow,
is for naught.
that was lucky.
What's lucky for them?
I guess if I can count that as an action, which is
Yes.
is an action, isn't it? I'll use my bonus action to grapple him then.
Yeah. Give me an athletics. Again. Can he get a good roll on athletics twice? Yes, but you just narrowly managed to get him to the ground.
Okay,
And
good.
scuffle this whole thing.
Bite his cheeks off.
Audrey.
Alright. So, I'm invisible to them. Does that mean I have total coverage? Can I roll with advantage with that girl?
Yes.
Okay. I will do that then.
Yes.
Spicy.
Yes. Oh,
rolls.
describe this.
Oh, I impale him. Totally in the face, preferably in the mouth so he can't scream. And just toss him to the ground. And pull back.
He can't scream. Not anymore.
Good.
Just a lifeless
so glad.
body on the ground.
And I'm going to cast that. So I can kind of like move
Yeah.
backwards a little bit.
Awesome.
With the other guy.
Cool.
So he has no idea where I am.
And he is going to try and throw old Gilwyn off him. In fact, yeah, he's going to try and throw Gilwyn off him.
Kilwin.
You win.
Gilwyn.
Altis.
Where did you come
Yes.
from here?
Sorry.
Bane of the beardy bastards.
Give me an athletics roll, Altis. This guy's been
Grapple
doing
that boy.
squats.
Yeah!
He got a 24 and you get a 25? You just hold him down. He's trying to like wrestle, like roll you over and stuff. But nah, this is Altis's domain. You hold him in. He still tries to... He's going to bite you. He's gonna try and bite your face.
It's that man after my own heart.
Sometimes you just need to go for the face bite. But he misses because he goes like and you like push his face down
you
into
slam its face.
into the stone. And then it's your turn.
I'm going to bite his bottom teeth and the underside of his jaw.
Oh!
Dude, that's the most.
You have advantage because you're grappling him.
Oh! Oh, that's actually horrific. Ross is just like standing there and then suddenly starts feeling like
You
queasy for
hit.
some reason.
I hit.
Oh,
You're all wearing prisoner garb.
Okay. What's the damage roll for a bite on the
D4.
teeth? D4.
For you. For you.
oh God.
Plus strength.
Plus strength.
That jaw strength that
Jaw
you've been hit
strength.
by in that slot. Oh God. A sick. I mean, that's pretty. That's one
You,
of max.
I imagine you bite and pull, right?
Yeah.
You hear like a popping, and he's just like
Oh no!
trying to hammer you
Desperate
away, but he
noises of
can't.
Struggle.
They
And
are.
then, with my second wind, I'm going to grab his hair and pull like that as I'm pulling.
Oh.
Okay.
Just give
You're
me
not.
just give me an athletics roll.
And by this point, it's like Adri's just like quietly closing the door and leaving again.
You're like, maybe
Yeah,
we
no,
shouldn't
he-
free this
he
van
has to
out
be
to
there.
Is it still advantage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is a loud, wet pop, and then a tearing as his bottom jaw and everything attached to it is removed from his head.
Oh.
And the yells and screams of someone whose jaw has just been removed are a noise I cannot accurately describe.
No yelling, no screaming. Shh.
Oh, he's loud, blood curdling. Like his back's arched, like horrifying, like fountaining blood out of his face hole.
Can I then use my bonus action along with that grapple to put my hand against his like hole of his throat to stop the screaming?
Oh, fuck.
You can, yeah. I am definitely rolling perception for the guards, and also how much the guards give a fuck.
Oh.
Thing is, they might assume it's Altis. So they...
Nobody came.
That's horrific.
Nobody
He's just had some grimy hand shoved in the wound.
And
as well.
he bleeds out in a matter of moments, just to do a horrifying, painful death.
And now you get his hammer.
And the hammer just lays on the ground, yeah. Definitely his hammer.
And Altis picks up and goes, murder hobo.
Altis is beyond a murder hobo. So yeah, Audrey, that happens. You're outside combat now. Don't worry about it.
Well,
You know what? We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take the time to recover mentally.
Yeah. Everyone, call your therapists. We'll be back in a minute.